Hello again, welcome back. Chaplains in the armed forces provide an important source of religious guidance and support, and they're particularly important to those troops on the ground, sometimes in very dangerous situations. Traditionally, the job has been done only by men, but one woman is trying to change that. Shureda Hussain is battling the US Army to become a chaplain. She's fighting on two fronts because Shureda is a woman and a Muslim, and this has put her firmly at the centre of a religious and cultural debate.
The first time the thought came across my mind to become a chaplain in the Army was from a Boston Globe article that I saw. And in that article, there was this retired gunnery sergeant, Marine sergeant, said, "It would be so wonderful if a Muslim female would consider becoming a chaplain."
We have women serving in the United States Armed Forces that are in harm's way, that need pastoral care, that require pastoral care. We also have young men who are in harm's way and their families are back in the rear. So by having an Islamic chaplain that's a woman, it will fulfill that void.
And I knew how it was for me going through as a Muslim, and I thought, what a wonderful place to fit in my past 20-something years of military service, my religious knowledge, and my willingness to just serve people. I applied in 2003 and did not hear anything until 2005, officially. Unofficially, through phone calls, they said that I was denied, and now I'm reapplying again.
If you look across the total Army, we desperately need chaplains to come in. However, if we had an applicant from the Muslim community who was a female, we would have a difficulty because from our understanding, there are no female imams.
An imam doesn't have to be a chaplain, and a chaplain doesn't have to be an imam. The role of a chaplain in the military is to serve their faith community. Even though I can't lead the prayer will go on, because if there's one male in the audience, that person can lead the prayer. I don't need to be, quote unquote, the imam.
From what my understanding, which I'm not an expert in it, but from my understanding, a female, though they may have some standing in the Islamic community as far as what religious things they can do, they can't function with the full authority that an imam, a male imam, can do.
A male chaplain cannot prepare the body of a woman. He cannot. A male chaplain would be unable to provide the level of pastoral care to a female soldier in crisis. I mean, there are restrictions in which, for example, men are restricted from being alone and secluded with a woman. Here, Major Shureda could be there. For us, it's a mission necessity to have Major Shureda serve as a chaplain. If the Army says no to her, then in all actuality, what the Army is saying is that we know better for your faith than you do.
Shureda is not trying to, shake things up. She has a sincere desire to help. At the same time, all of these issues are kind of swirling around her. The relationship between the United States and the Muslim world, the discussions within the Muslim community about women's leadership. So she's in the middle of all of this. And I think what we have to keep in mind is that while these are big, important issues, they're big, important issues that have to be solved for the sake of a very simple goal, which is to take care of people.
But just stand firm and trust and believe that Allah is with you, and if you're doing the right thing, know that it's the right thing to do and it'll be okay, and say what you need to say. And with the help from God, Allah, I feel that's what keeps giving me hope, and then just trust that somewhere along the way that transformation will occur and I will be a chaplain.
And we'll keep you posted on how Shureda's battle goes. Now, over the next month, we're looking at the lives of China's new breed of sexy, savvy city women. Women who've experienced more changes in one lifetime than their Western sisters have in several generations. These are liberated women, and conservative China is still getting used to them. Right now, a new film described as the Chinese version of Sex and the City is causing an outcry, but fans say it's simply challenging male chauvinistic attitudes. See what you think.
但是一般女的开车就是想怎么开就怎么开，我还是比较谨慎的。别人说我开车猛，但是我自己没觉着太快啊，没出过什么车。哥们儿还在为你卖块儿呢。 这片子都已经上映了，你怎么还在看片子呀？自恋。
As liberated women of China's educated elite, director Ning Ying and fellow collaborator Liu So-la are still bemused by the controversy triggered by the film Perpetual Motion, panned for its portrayal of strong, straight-talking women who treat men as sex objects.
我非搞清楚，他们这里头到底是谁，当着我的面儿掏了我的底儿，还睡了我的丈夫。
Under the pretext of celebrating Chinese New Year, Niu gathers her best friends for dinner to find out which one of them is having an affair with her husband. There is Lala, the artist, Chin Chin, the entertainer,
春节好，张妈妈，来太早了。春节好。
and Madame Ye, the businesswoman, all successful, confident 40-somethings.
要是比我还大呢，你可能早更了，你自己都不知道。
革命人永远是年轻，你更我不更。
更年期阶段其实最性感了，鲜花开到极致，漫长又性感。潮热二字，你应该理解成又潮又热。
他们看完以后，我记得有一个。
After one preview, one young man confronted me, asking me what I was trying to tell today's youth by depicting women like this. Women who spout vulgarities and who are not at all beautiful. He simply couldn't accept the reality of today's women. I was shocked at how conservative Chinese society still is.
每次到妞妞家都是吃鸡爪。最文雅的吃法是嘬干净所有皮肉，还能摆回去，看上来还是只鸡爪。尽管是熟肉，你可以感觉到它的能量。这只鸡活着的时候，肯定是只欲望特强的鸡。你看它的手指，你就能感到它什么都想给勾过来。
男性观众气氛是太自然了。
I can understand why male audiences got upset. They're used to seeing women portrayed as petite, sweet, and submissive in Hong Kong and Taiwanese films, so they think all women should be like that. But the real pity is, Chinese women got upset.
Critics call it China's Sex and the City, but that's putting it mildly. Sex and the City describes petty issues like love and material possessions. My film is about women who have lived through tremendous social upheaval, which makes them far more complicated.
Through the women's forward behavior, vulgarities, references to the male anatomy, director Ning Ying is challenging China's male chauvinistic society. She's trying to unleash female power to show that women can and do have a leading role in our society.
在东西方的荧幕上。
In Western or Oriental cinema, there are very few movies with a feminist icon we can identify with. All we had were images of how Chinese women should be like or what the West feels the Oriental women should be like. We wanted to correct this gap.
今天成功了的，也成熟了的。
We're talking about successful, mature women who've got more historical baggage than today's generation. When they were young, they were equal to men according to Mao's edict that women hold up half the sky. After that, they went through the Cultural Revolution, then liberalization, And finally, today's consumerist society. In their short lifetimes, they've already experienced decades, if not centuries, of Western history.
Little surprise, the film ends with one of the characters buckling under the pressure of change, raising important questions about the future.
These characters are unable to control their lives because eventually Lala, the only character who's aware of the realities, goes crazy and is sent to an asylum, so their future is uncertain.
In the morning hours, after an emotionally charged night of confessional exchanges, 3 women emerge from the stifling confines of the traditional courtyard house to find a future stretching out before them like the never-ending streets of Beijing.
Ultimately, I make movies to jolt people out of their apathy, so they'll have to re-evaluate people, life, and women around them. This is what I hope my movies can do.
And we'll be taking another look at the lives of China's women next week. But for now, that's it. You can email us your comments at everywoman@aljazeera.net. Until next time, from all the team here, goodbye and Ramadan Kareem.